thought it would be a good time to record in the moment of when perhaps it would be good to process things or talk through things. On a really basic level, I just it's a really hot day and kind of really push myself to go outside to get a bit of exercise. And I did a couple of laps around the park. I thought it would be something that was accessible for me to do, and just enables me just to get some exercise without having to overthink of where to go. And again, it was just quite triggering to be at the park as my tripod falls down. Get this guy set up. And yeah, one of the things was obviously naturally when it's a really hot day, especially at a park, people are sunbathing, they're gonna sort of dress with less clothes and things, and I was just, maybe my anxiety was the case of me not wanting to accidentally look at somebody or think I'm staring at them, or so it really felt strange just to try to avert my eyes and just try and look up at the trees, or force myself to look down, or as I was walking around I didn't feel like my eyes could freely just innocently look around in that way. So I felt very self-conscious about that, and also what reaction came up in me was just a sense of normalcy of people like playing music and not feeling self-conscious, or being out there in the sun, something so normal that made me feel very very broken, or very sort of alien-like. I just feel like I'm so far away from, not that I'm striving to do that, because it doesn't, but it just feels like those are the normal things to do in life, and it just feels like it's really hard to word. Yeah, maybe it just feels alone in that sense. You know, everyone who I see around me is, to a certain extent, is able to enjoy that sort of side of things, really, to go out and do things, and even though that was just a park, it was a kind of like a reflection on just how life is. And of course it's a lot more complicated than that, because so many people are dealing with so many things, and it's not even to say that what I'm going through is worse, but whether it's true or not, it's just my reaction or my feelings that I just feel so unwell in a lot of ways, and that brings up frustration as well, because there's a part of me that is well, that can recognize the unwell part of me, or the part of me that's struggling. Yeah, and it's really difficult because I don't want anyone to really see me like this. Just fearing that, they'll misunderstand or change things as well, of how they, people see me, and I find these feelings are really hard to express, and if I do express them, they don't really seem quite accurate, and that's frustrating sometimes as well, where you're not able to articulate kind of what's going on. And maybe it's fair to say that it's complicated and it's not easy to put words to something that isn't. It's kind of like trying to describe a painting somebody, you know, can't see the painting and trying to describe it to them, it's very difficult to sort of use the modality of words on something that's so much more than just words. I'm just rubbing my eye. I've just got, I think this making it worse. I've just had to put like suntan. I didn't have to. I chose to put some suntan lotion on me, just extra precaution of going out, and some self-care as well. And it was really, really warm, so I only made it 2 laps. I was planning to do 3, and I could feel my skin, my heat rash coming up a lot and starting to itch a lot. So, and I was also not resisting as well, because of me really reacting to just being out there in the park and making me not feel too good. So yeah, I'm trying. Yeah, maybe it's good to try and acknowledge that I did push myself to go out in the park this afternoon, which was really, really hard to do. It was like, it's kind of on that place I could so easily not go, and just it took all of my strength to sort of close my laptop and stand up and put on the sun lotion and I downloaded a different audiobook to listen to, and I didn't really, it's really hard for me to concentrate on like fiction audiobooks or find something of interest. Like, everything just is feeling in this way I am. It's really hard to grasp onto things and things to hold my interest. So I listened to this book without sort of worrying if I was too interested in it or not. It was like roughly in the area of books I used to read, and so I just sort of, it was almost also provided a bit of a barrier and buffer as I walked around. I just tried to focus on, had my like baseball cap on and my headphones. It kind of gave me a bit of a buffer of, you know, that I was sort of doing something, walking around and engaged in that. So it kind of helped me to do that, helped me cope better. But yeah, I don't know if that trigger makes sense, but just a sense of normalcy of, or my perception of that, because I have no idea what any of those people are going through. You know, it's very easily somebody could be, you know, having a breakdown or the worst day of their life, and they're just sitting out in the sun. So yeah, maybe that makes it confusing. Best not for me to analyze that stuff, but just try and deal with my feelings, maybe. Food wise today, what have I done? I didn't have breakfast. I haven't really had breakfast for a long time. I'm kind of still in that mode of fasting in the mornings, and I wouldn't say it's worrying, but it's something that I need to be aware of, because I need to make sure it's not just an unconscious habit that could develop into something more, or if it's just something that I'm consciously doing, or if it can be a positive habit for the time being, for me to like to do a fast, a morning fast. And I had some falafel burger for lunch, and I was reading the ingredients on the back, and it was like really good, because it had no sort of chemical things you didn't recognize. It was all just pure ingredients, and it was a beetroot falafel burger, and they're not horrible, but obviously naturally they're not going to be like, you know, they're a bit dry and this and that, but I've tried to focus on having some salad with it, and for the moment having it with some bread. So that's reasonably okay, I think. And I think the little bit of walking I did, about 20 minutes, I think one lap of the park is about 10 minutes, so I did 20 minutes of that, so that counts for something as well. And yeah, I'm planning to watch a bit of chess this afternoon. It's the last day of this chess tournament, so I'm gonna keep watching that. And I'm watching rewatching an old series I used to haven't seen in a long time, called The Good Wife. It's a kind of a what's the word for it? I can't think of the word, but it's like a sort of, I guess, a drama, and it's loads of episodes, so it may just sort of a healthy distraction to lose myself in that for the time being. Yeah, and I'm still really dealing with my energy as well, and I triggered myself a couple of days ago, and I'm still dealing with the physical effects of that, where I'm feeling still quite sedated in some ways, different type of tiredness. So yeah, I'm just trying my best to deal with that as well, which naturally affects the mood and everything else. It all kind of cascades a little bit. Yeah, so today I'm just trying my best to not fall into more dark thoughts or dark moods, to try to maybe stabilize and manage things with my energy and just the way things are. And it feels like this is how things, are going to be for a while at least. Not to be negative, but try and see things how they are and how things have been the last few months, of where things have naturally been more challenging for me. And yeah, it's weird. It's really frustrating even just talking now, because it feels like whatever's going on with my health is affecting my way to express and communicate. And I know I've touched on this many times before, but it feels like I have to keep, makes me feel better, I guess, to vent about it a bit, but yeah, it just feels like I'm just unable to fully express myself, be in touch with my feelings, and but yeah, okay, yeah, maybe I won't talk too much more longer, because it feels like it's just not, maybe I'm getting a bit more frustrated, and maybe it's not helping. But maybe to wrap this up, to think about the afternoon ahead. So I've got chess, watch a bit of chess, and watch a bit of The Good Wife, and yeah, just have no expectations of myself, not be hard on myself that I should be doing this. Yeah, and I've got some food for tonight. Like, I did well yesterday to do some tidying up, and had some help from a friend, which was really useful, really beneficial to have. So I definitely wouldn't have cleaned my bathroom if that didn't have that support. So and so yeah, I did some cleaning, I did some cooking yesterday, so I've got at least some dinners, some reasonably healthy dinners for the next couple nights, so that's good. Yeah, and just hopefully I feel like when I'm feeling really low like I am now, or challenged with energy, I feel very, the evening time can be especially difficult, getting myself to bed at a good time, and make, kind of wind down to bedtime. It feels like I just want, as evening time comes, sometimes the pain comes more strongly, and I want to soothe that pain watching a movie or something, and it ends up being really late, or I ended up watching a bunch of YouTube reaction videos that are just not fulfilling. I just end up watching one after the other it's like almost not wanting to get out of a hot bath, knowing it'll just be so cold and painful. You want to keep in that warm bath, which is, for me, it's like sometimes reaction videos on YouTube. So yeah, it might be good to hopefully avoid that. Maybe like ASMR would be a lot better to watch that this evening. Yeah, maybe just having a bit more mindfulness of the time of when the evening comes, and I can sort of plan my evening a bit and give it a bit of structure, and think, like, for example, if I note the time and it's in the evening, I think, okay, I've got time to watch a film, and then I can, get ready for bed, brush my teeth, wash my face, and then maybe watch some ASMR before bedtime, and it kind of structures it a bit more. I think that's a good strategy to have. I may potentially text my dad to try and visit him tomorrow. I haven't seen him in a long while, and I rarely sort of see him alone anymore. And maybe out of guilt, I don't know if that's a good reason, maybe it will help him for me to come up and see him for a bit. Because I'm sure he's thinking about me, and maybe worried about me. Yeah, I don't want him to be so. Yeah, so I will try and keep that in mind, and push myself to perhaps do that. At least for him, maybe it'd be good to have a reason to do it if I can't do it for myself, or feel like I want to be seen in this way. But yeah, maybe that will be helpful to do that. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm just gonna maybe get some hydration, get some water, especially on this warm day. That would be good for me to keep up with. And yeah, just try and just take, again, even though I've got a rough plan of the afternoon, but yeah, just really try and be gentle and take things slow, I think. And I think that's a good continuous reminder for this afternoon to not ignore that, to really sort of feel things and check in with how I am, my body and my mind. And yeah, just a little bit of mindfulness, as well as relaxing and watching things, but not just losing myself in them completely, but just having a bit of an anchor to how I'm feeling and to being present. I feel like I need to, it'll be good for me to cultivate that a little bit, without expectation of being super peaceful and spiritual and all of that stuff. So yeah.